Have you ever wanted to slow down and invest some time and energy into your own growth, only to be met with the thought that doing so feels selfish? Because there are so many other places you should be spending your time, right? You've got people to support, responsibilities to handle, expectations to meet, and somewhere in the middle of all of that, focusing on yourself can start to feel indulgent. And feeling this way is not at all uncommon. Just last week, I had a client tell me that it is hard to justify spending time on themselves when there is so much else demanding their attention. But here's the thing. When you consistently put your own growth on hold, it does not create more capacity for others. It only reduces your own. So in this video, we're going to explore why this belief shows up so often, how it quietly undermines your leadership and your results, and I will walk you through a simple exercise that helps you lead yourself more intentionally and without guilt. Hello, friend. I am Dr. Laura Miner, a board-certified leadership coach who helps experienced professionals lead themselves well so their impact actually matches their intentions. And this idea of giving yourself permission to grow, it sits right at the center of my work. Because who you are is how you lead. And how you lead shapes everything else that follows. But if you don't focus on the who, your outcomes and impact can miss the mark. You see, when you don't proactively invest time and energy into how you think, how you act, and how you motivate yourself, it's not like your leadership just stops. No, it keeps going. It just does so on autopilot. And when you're operating this way, old patterns call the shots. Accumulated stress winds up baked into your decision-making, and assumptions that you have never taken the time to question, they shape how it is that you respond. Okay, well then, how do you disengage this autopilot? Well, that comes with self-leadership. And self-leadership requires that you invest time and energy into yourself. But yet we still haven't addressed the conundrum, right? Around this act of investing in yourself feeling selfish or indulgent. So I want to share a quote from psychologist and New York Times bestselling author Rick Hanson, because I think it encapsulates this really well. Rick said, "Think about the many ways that others will benefit from you being more good-humored, warm-hearted, and savvy. Nurturing your own development isn't selfish. It's actually a great gift to other people." You see, when we focus on our own growth and development, we are empowered to show up in continually better ways. My own personal self-leadership journey as an example, it has given me more patience, better decision-making, deeper self-awareness, and all of these things contribute to me being a better leader now who is able to create more meaningful outcomes. And this was a big aha for me, because once I truly saw the external benefits of learning to lead myself better, I stopped treating my growth like something that I had to justify or get permission for. I realized permission was something I could give myself very deliberately as a leader. And once I did so, and I was able to clearly see how investing in myself shaped the way that I showed up for others, once I saw that, so many other things fell into place. So I want to walk you through an exercise that I now do with myself as well as my clients whenever the guilt monster tries to trick us into believing that focusing on our own growth is selfish or indulgent. So let's start by grabbing a piece of paper and something to write with. And in big bold letters across the top of your page, the first thing I want you to do is write permission granted. That's right. This is going to be your permission slip to release the guilt and put time and energy into nurturing your own development. And no, this is not about positive affirmations or hyping yourself up. It is about making an intentional leadership decision about how you are going to lead yourself. So underneath the words permission granted, I want you to write, I give myself permission to, and then complete that sentence over and over. And just let the list pour out of you without editing yourself. This is for no one's eyes but your own. So maybe you want to give yourself permission to slow down instead of constantly pushing, or to say no to certain requests without having to over-explain your no, or to invest in your growth without needing to justify it to anyone else. Whatever it is that is surfacing for you, write it down on your permission slip. And by the way, if you find yourself feeling discomfort or guilt or that reflexive urge to downplay what you've written, I want you to slow down a bit and notice that, because those reactions are often signposts of areas in your life that need a little bit more attention. Okay, so now on to the second step, where we will connect our permission slip to our leadership by completing this sentence. I'm choosing to invest in my growth because when I lead myself well, and then fill in the blank. Maybe you notice that when you lead yourself well, you show up better for others. Or maybe you're able to better control your stress response, which then improves your quality of life. So whatever it is that surfaces for you, get it on your paper. And then once you have captured your thoughts, I want you to take a minute to read back through what it is that you've written. Let yourself see the ripple effects that come from investing in your own growth and really soak that in. And then after you've read through your list, underneath it, I want you to write this down word for word. This is not selfish. This is responsible leadership. Then highlight that sentence, underline it, draw stars around it, let it serve as a clear, grounded acknowledgement that how you lead yourself shapes everything else that follows. And you are granting yourself permission to invest in your own growth for that reason. Because self-leadership isn't about becoming more inward focused in a selfish way. It is about becoming more available. When you give yourself permission to grow, you don't disappear from the world. You actually show up more fully in it. And that's the quiet paradox that most people miss. Your inner work does not pull you away from impact. It is what makes sustainable impact possible. Inner leader, outer impact. Okay, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with just one last thought. If giving yourself permission to grow feels uncomfortable, I want you to realize that that discomfort is not a signal to stop. It's not a warning light. It's actually an invitation to get curious and ask yourself better questions. Because growth doesn't start with having all the answers. It's actually rooted in asking different and better and deeper questions. And that is exactly what we're going to explore in this video here. So if you're ready to move beyond surface level questions and dig into the kind that disrupt your autopilot and open up a world of possibilities, not only for how you lead yourself, but also how you lead others, then meet me here and we will dig into it together. I will see you there soon, my friend.